So now that we have our Minecraft world imported into Blender from Mindways, we're going to go and go over exactly how they organize the meshes inside of this OBJ. Mindways basically separates out each of the separate Minecraft block types into their own mesh. So if you just have the cobblestone wall selected right now, if I hit G and start moving around, you can see that only the cobblestone wall blocks around the scene are moving. Same thing with all the other blocks. They're all separated into their own meshes and their own materials as well. So that's that, but also we want to fix up these blurry textures. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit render because I want to see exactly how this affects the render. It does always appear blurry in the viewport, but in the render it should be fixable, and unfortunately right now it is not fixed because we just imported it from Mindways. This is the default setting of making it blurry because Blender likes to interpolate small resolution textures and get those pixels nice and smooth so that on bigger textures it looks really nice and can make resolution look bigger than it really is. But in fact, for Minecraft, we want it to be a low resolution texture with sharp pixels. So what we can do is we can simply hit escape, and I'm going to go ahead and actually do this to the windows. This is important because I want to apply this fix to a transparent block, and you'll see why in a second. But I highly recommend this to your workflow to make it faster, to apply the same change to every single block in the scene. So I'm going to go ahead and select the window mesh because that will be all the stained glass blocks. For example, in this case, I'm selecting the stained glass. You can also select a beacon or whatever glass object or water or anything that has a little bit of transparency. Go ahead and select that block because their materials automatically have, as you go to the material tab here, this one's called stained glass, so we know it's good, and that's the one that we want. And go to texture, and you can see there's already two textures here, a color one and an alpha one, or a black and white one that determines transparency. So if it has two, that means we have half our work already done for us. So that's why I want to use this material instead of an opaque block which only has one texture. So we're going to go ahead and select the material and go to the texture tab, and if you scroll down, we want to fix up this blurriness. That's going to be under image sampling. So image sampling will be under the texture settings, and all you want to do is uncheck interpolation and then change the filter to box. I like box because it's easy to remember. Minecraft's box. Anyway, so once you do those two things, then you already have no interpolation for your pixels. But before we go ahead and render, I'm going to do the same thing with the alpha so that the alpha, the transparency, is also matching up with the colors. So I'm going to go ahead and also uncheck that and change this to box. So once we've done that, those two things, I'm going to go ahead and go to the materials tab. Everything looks okay here. I can't really tell, it's not zoomed in enough. So we're going to go ahead and hit F12, and we're going to try to zoom into this stained glass texture, but it's a little bit far away. So I might move the camera a little bit closer and then render again. But that should be a lot cleaner than it was before. And we can't really tell, so I'm going to move up and show you guys a little bit of what that looks like. So move up in the viewport, hit Control-Alt-0 to bring the camera right next to me. Hit F12, and that should give us something pretty good. Yeah? Yes? There we go. As you can see here, the sides of this, the wooden fence here, is actually still blurry, but the glass, as you can see here, is actually got this really sharp pixelated texture to it. So that matches Minecraft perfectly there. So we're going to go ahead and show you the difference of what the wooden fence, for example, looks like when it's not blurry, just so we can get a better demonstration of this. And I'm going to apply this non-blurriness to the entire world very easily after we've done it to the stained glass, simply by hitting A once, hitting A again to select everything in the scene, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit Control-L and then M for materials, or you can just click materials, and that will link every object in the scene to the same material, which is in this case the stained glass material. So I've already done that, and you can tell by seeing this materials tab has 83 users, which is a lot more than 1, which was before. So I'm going to go ahead and hit F12, and that should give us a render here that will look a lot sharper than before. So let's cross our fingers. Hopefully that worked. And the window looks great, and as you can see here, the fence is much, much cleaner. Look at that nice, sharp texture. So yeah, that's all you have to do to create a nice, sharp texture for your Blender Minecraft world.